Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream match preview for Brighton versus Chelsea tomorrow evening. The game's coming thick and fast, the final week of the season. Two wins required, and then the possibility of the top six is very much on. Going to be a tough game, no denying it. We got smashed there last season under Graham Potter 4-1. Look, Brighton aren't quite as good this season, but it's going to be a tough game. As I said, our away form, despite beating Nottingham Forest, has not been great. So, yeah, it's going to be a tricky afternoon. Thiago Silva's last away game in English football. I can't believe it's the last week of the season already, people. There's loads to dive into. Pochettino talking about how he doesn't want fake love from the fans. He wants to create a real connection, which I rate him for. He's also been speaking about Reece James's chances of going to the Euros. We've also had news that Chelsea are apparently prepared to offer 6.2 million to sign a 17-year-old right back from a Brazilian second division club. We're going to dive into that. The injury list: just 4 players remain out injured, guys. Chukwuemeka and Chilwell back in training. You've only got 4 injuries. Unbelievable. Only 4 missing from action tomorrow night, which is quite something. That is a season low, the lowest amount of injuries that we've had all season, and it's just as the season is coming to an end. And do you know what? For once, we're actually going to have a few selection issues. We're going to have a nice selection headache, which makes a big change to what has been the case for the majority of the season. We also got Roberto De Zerbi speaking about how Brighton tried to sign Cole Palmer last summer, but it didn't come off. So yeah, people, there's lots to get into. As always, make sure you are smashing that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We are now on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So every new subscriber really helps. Smash that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. And let's say hello to a few people in the chat. Frank's City beat Spurs tonight, so they want Arsenal in the league. Yeah, of course. Big game, City Spurs tonight. What will be will be. I don't see City slipping up in this one. I really don't. Gusto needs to play tomorrow at right back. We're gonna dive into that. Yes, big up. Yes, big up, brother. I've never wanted City to win a football match as much in my life. Did you see the Arsenal fans? Yeah, absolute state of them. Absolute idiots. So-called Arsenal ultras thinking they were letting off fireworks outside the City team hotel when City weren't even travelling down until this morning because it's an evening game. That club is just it defies belief. They deserve to not win the league just for those actions alone. Just for those actions alone, they don't deserve to win the league. Tomorrow should be our final game. We need to be in Europe next season. Well, I think if we win, we're guaranteed a 7th place finish. I'm pretty sure that's the state of play. If we win tomorrow, that means we will finish 7th. I'm pretty certain that is the case. We'll be guaranteed a 7th place finish because our goal difference is so superior to United's. I just don't want Reece James going to the Euros because I don't want him getting injured there. No, fair enough. Yes, big up, brother. As always, it's great we have to pick up positive for next season. Yeah. We still got a job to do this week. Before we can start thinking about next season. As fans, we don't want to get too carried away, guys. But yeah, I can't believe it's mad how fast the season's gone. It really is ridiculous how fast it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. It feels like a lifetime, but then it also feels like it's gone so quickly. You look back to the start of the season, we only won 3 of our first 10 Premier League games. I was looking at this earlier today. 3 of our first 10 Premier League matches we won, and ultimately those first 10 games are going to be what costs us in that's I think that essentially is going to cost us a top 4 finish. Those first 10 games, how the season's panned out, those first 10 games are going to cost us a Champions League football next season. I think it's as simple as that. Those first 10 games will cost us the Champions League this season. We're not actually as far away as what people think. But I've been banging this drum for a while. We really aren't as far away as what people say. We're very close to the Champions League. We're not a million miles off. And I think next season, it's an absolute must, an absolute must. But yeah, let's get stuck into some stuff before we get into the game. Let's address some transfer news, by the way, because once again, we have been looking at signing another teenager. Chelsea are prepared to offer 6.2 million to acquire 17-year-old right-back Pedro Lima from Serie B club Sport. I presume that's the Brazilian Serie B, considering it's from ESPN Brazil, with Pedro initially being loaned to Strasbourg in the first season. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this one, people. Of course, nowhere near as much, known about this guy as Esteban Willian or Endrick or Kendry Pires or whatever. This is the first time I've ever heard of him, and I think it's probably the first time that any Chelsea fans have heard of him. Look, I think it's potentially another signing that, one for the future, one they've identified as a promising talent, one that could. I mean, look at right back, we seem to be pretty stocks. Reece James and Malo Gusto. I don't see a look in. I don't see a look in for this geezer in the first team for a number of years. But maybe he's going to be one of them for 6.2 million. You loan him out for a few years and you sell him on for a profit. To me right now, off the basis of that, if this deal were to go through, then that I think that's the sort of thing that we are looking at. Considering the price, they'd probably say Chelsea will sign, but probably let's wait and see. Of course it could be directly for Strasbourg. We don't know. Let's wait and see. But obviously, another 17-year-old, that could be two 17-year-olds being signed this summer. He must be, I don't know when he turns 18 or whatever, but it's clear that we're not done in South America. I would still expect, a few more South Americans to be linked with the club. It's clearly a market that, Chelsea are massively tapping into and wanting to extract the most of out. But yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? I mean, none of us have really heard of half these players that we're being linked with. But you know what? Let's wait and see what they're like. But I mean, look, I know a bit more about Willian, but in terms of this Pedro Lima guy, I can't really offer any insight into a 17-year-old right back that's playing in the Brazilian second division. So yeah, I just look at it as another one of those opportunistic signings, cheap price. I mean, some reports have dubbed him as the heir to Cafu. I think there's some way. I think there's some way to go until that's proven to be the case, or not proven to be the case. Let's wait and see. But yeah, look, looks like another signing that could well be flipped for profit. That would be 3 South Americans potentially arriving in the summer of 2025 when they all turn 18. So yeah, roll on the good times. Roll on the good times. The Chelsea kindergarten is taking more members for the new term. The kindergarten is taking more members for the new term. This is what we do. Good Man City got Arsenal's heart out, draw today, and they both win this weekend just for Arsenal to lose on goal difference. I don't know. I think Arsenal's goal difference is better, if I'm not mistaken. Taking into account everything that has happened at Chelsea this season, Europa League conference is okay. I wouldn't be. Look, it would be okay. Europa League, I think, would be all things considered, would be a very good season. Yes, big up to Brian. Thanks for the donation, brother. X-Brad's got to win us a cup. If not, yeah, look, I'm confident that that we will win a cup under Pochettino. It should have happened this year. It should have happened this season. It should have already happened. It hasn't. But yeah, I'm confident that next season we can definitely add a trophy to the cabinet. And it feels like it's been a while since that's happened. Regarding all the news stories, do you think we have FFP covered? Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. But again, I don't know anything about the club finances or anything. I'm not an accountant, but well, everything that's coming out, I think certainly for this season, for this period, will be all right. Whether the next period will be all right, I don't know. For context too, Santos was also in a Brazilian second tier. Was Santos in a second tier? Who's he? He was at Vasco da Gama. Maybe he started there, but he was definitely playing in the Brazilian top flight. Yeah, madness. Napoli in talks with Palace's. Look, we know that Osimhen is definitely leaving. Is almost certain to leave Napoli this summer. And so yeah, any links to strikers for Napoli, they know Osimhen's gone. The reason he signed the contract was so that Napoli could get the price that they wanted for him. Simple as that. What was my score prediction for the game tonight? Well, considering Man City have never scored a Premier League goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I'll probably go, I think City will win 2-1. Spurs have scored in every single home game this season. So I'd go for a 2-1 City for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've got too much more to add, guys, on Pedro Lima, other than the Chelsea nursery has got another application for the new term. That is what we do. That is what we do. But we seem to be taking this South American market very seriously. I don't know if we're taking it too seriously or not. Nicknamed the heir of Cafu. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. Certainly an interesting one. There doesn't appear to be an awful lot of information on him. Obviously, he must be a pretty talented guy. But still, yeah. Let's wait and see what happens. I think one thing I can certainly say is that even if he does end up signing for the club, there's no way he's going to be playing for the first team before he's 20. I definitely don't see that happening at all. But yeah, another one for the future. I guess it's good to see that we are, looking to find young players and whatnot. I still feel right now for me that this would be someone that will be flipped for a profit, but only time will tell. And let's wait and see what happened. Yeah, very exciting game. Very exciting game. Mate, Ivan Toney talk just in general, like not just Chelsea, but Ivan Toney's move for Ivan Toney just in general this summer has gone really quiet, really, really quiet. There doesn't really seem to be an awful lot of information about at all. Really doesn't seem to be much information about at all on an Ivan Toney move. What else is coming in? There's loads of stuff coming in the chat. I said 7th at the beginning of the year too. I thought that would get us Europa League. As I said on Mitch Boy's channel, that our inconsistencies caused this. We have to draw every 3 matches for top 4. Yeah, look, as I was saying earlier, I'm not sure if you heard, but we had 3 wins in our first 10 Premier League games, and ultimately that's what's going to have those first 10 games is what's going to have cost us a top 4 finish, because since Boxing Day we have been a top 4 side. And as I've said many times, only Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal have scored more points than us. So we are paying the price for a poor start to the season, which saw 3 wins from the first 10 league games. That is not ideal at all. That's really cost us. But when you sort of take into account all things considered, guys, all things considered, if given our start, given the injuries that we've had, it really hasn't been that bad this season if we do manage to get a top 6 finish. Of course, it'll be just our luck to finish 6th, and then United somehow pull off the shock of all shocks and win the FA Cup, and we end up playing Conference League next season anyway. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of the latest. That's sort of the only real transfer news kind of today for Chelsea is, of course, that news there. Again, apparently, let's quickly do some stuff on Victor Osimhen. Again, I'm not sure how reliable the source is, but let's have a look. An exclusive, apparently. Let's have a look at this. If Chelsea want Victor, he is there waiting, but it is up to them. Osimhen is still keen on a move to Chelsea, and the ball is in Chelsea's court. I mean, let's see what this article says. Chelsea are set for an important few weeks as they nail down the under pressure manager. Whatever. One name has never left Chelsea's shortlist is Osimhen. This is a team, so we understand that Blues recruitment chiefs have identified him as the perfect striker for Chelsea. Recent reports have suggested that Osimhen's fellow suitors PSG had all but agreed a deal with the Napoli star, but Team Talk understands that is not the case. As previously reported, Chelsea remains his favoured destination due to his love of former striker Didier Drogba and his desire to play in the Premier League. Sources have informed Team Talk that if Chelsea want Victor, he is there waiting, but it is up to them. PSG are just one of the other sides monitoring the Nigerian international situation. Arsenal have had a look, but are angling towards other targets, meaning that as things stand, there is a clear path for Chelsea to get the deal done. The Blues Ball will continue to find and sign the best young players on the globe as they're part of their project and long-term plans for the club. They do not want to stretch their budget too much, and therefore will have to be creative if going for one of the world's best goal scorers in Osimhen. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Osimhen, 25 years old. Champions League experience, we know, he's won Serie A of Napoli. And he scored 20 times in 27 caps for Nigeria as well. The big stumbling block is the £113 million release clause and his big wages. I don't know how much of this I believe personally. If Chelsea want him, he's there. I don't think he's bang average. I'm just not as sold on him as a lot of other people are. I'm just not as sold. But look, maybe if he does end up coming, I could be proven wrong. I just think that I get it. The African connection. He's obviously a good player, good in the air, strong, physical, can hold the ball up. And look, he is one of the best strikers in the world. I just don't know, for me personally, how we're gonna find a way, guys, to pay that release clause, because whether we offer more than the release clause, which is the usual tactic, and you offer a bit more and then you get slightly more favourable payment terms, I just don't know if Chelsea have got it in their finances to be committing to another £113 million on a centre forward. Having said that, you look at the options out there, and Victor Gyökeres has got €100 million release clause in his contract. That'd be around £88 million. Someone like Benjamin Sesko will be cheaper, but again, he's 20, not as experienced despite his talent. I'm not sure if that's the right move. And then you look at what Sesko, Gyökeres, Osimhen, the Ivan Toney stuff has gone very quiet. And you then sort of think, well, what other kind of names are out there? You look at someone like Jonathan David from Lille as a possible slightly left field choice potentially, but again, I'm not sure how likely that is. That he is someone that has been mentioned in the past with Chelsea, but I don't know really how recently he's been seriously linked to the club. It does really kind of appear that for Chelsea, it's going to be one of three names. It's going to be Gyökeres, Sesko, or Osimhen. And for me right now, I kind of feel, guys, that it's going to end up being I think it's going to end up being Gyökeres or Sesko. And if I'm being brutally honest, I think we could end up with Sesko. But I truly believe that it will end up being one of those three. It will end up being one of those three strikers. It will be Osimhen, Sesko, or Gyökeres. I mean, the Ivan Toney stuff's gone completely quiet. Or never say never with Chelsea. There could be another surprise name on the list potentially. But yeah, I'm not entirely I'm not entirely convinced, if I'm being brutally honest. Yeah, but he's still way cheaper than anyone else. You know, Sesko release clause reportedly it goes up based on his appearances, but he'll still be considerably cheaper than any other options out there. All of those options sound terrible. The short list should be Osimhen, Isak, or Tony. Isak is not going to happen. There's no release clause there. Isak could easily cost £100 million. Could easily cost more. Could easily cost more than Osimhen potentially. Newcastle are not in a position where they need to sell. Gyökeres over Sesko. I think Gyökeres is a very good striker. He's had a brilliant season at Sporting Lisbon. You know, the attributes are there. He's a good finisher. Would you describe him as an elite striker? Perhaps not right now, but there are very few elite strikers on the planet that are actually available. And you would have to say that, you know, Osimhen probably falls into that category. Other than that, there's not many. Prefer Sesko over Gyökeres. Fair. No, I'm not just judging Osimhen on this season, but let's be honest here. Osimhen scored more than 20 goals in just one season. You know, last season was his best season in his career. That's the only season where he scored more than 20 goals. Now, he's 25. You know, I'm not stating that's a massive problem, but Osimhen has had one good season in his career. Look, okay, the numbers have been okay this season, considering he's been injured for large parts. But look, let's be honest, guys. We're being real here. Osimhen's had one good season in his career. And it's a massive gamble to spend over £100 million on someone that, all right, he's not potential, but you're not buying the finished product. You know, would he adapt to the Premier League? You'd expect a player of his quality to adapt to the league, but again, it could be difficult. It could be difficult. You just don't know. Tony still can do it and knows the Premier League. No, look, I know Tony can still do it, but the reality is, like as I was saying, any move for Tony, just in general, seems to have gone very cold. He hasn't scored for a while, and yeah, sort of any noise surrounding his future appears to have gone very, very quiet. It'd be £113 million, I think. Look, we need to get someone. I get your point that, you know, we do need to still develop the players we've got. 100%, I hear that, but we do need to sign a top-level striker this summer. That will help Jackson as well. Jackson will develop even more, learning off a top-level forward. But yeah, the problem is the market's not good. There's very, very few options available. That's the reality of the situation. Don't want Gyökeres either. Reminds me of Nunes when he was at Benfica. I mean, Gyökeres is scoring a lot of goals, looks a good finisher. I mean, I don't think he misses chances like Nunes does. You know, the success rate, the hit rate from the Portuguese league to the Premier League with transfers is normally pretty good. Would Sporting not sell for less than release clause? No, I think they've stated many times that, you know, it's the release clause or nothing. Jackson will keep improving. Jackson will keep improving. Guys, there's loads of stuff coming in. Speaking about finished product, there's no player at the market. No, there's not. I agree. You know, there's more guarantees with someone like a Osimhen than maybe a Gyökeres or a Sesko. Of course, Osimhen's done it for longer on a higher level. But to be honest, whoever you bring in, there's going to be serious expectations, and it's always going to be a gamble as well, you know. And you can just see it now. You know, Osimhen signs for 130. We sign Osimhen for 113 million, and then maybe he doesn't score. Maybe he scores once in the first 5 games, and people start getting on his back. The price tag constantly gets mentioned. You know, you can see how it all plays out. You know, there is something to be said, in my view, for bringing in players and not spending ridiculous money. You know, look at Nicholas Jackson for an example. You know, 30 million quid, and he's done really well. And there's not an awful lot of expectation on him because A, no one really knew too much about him, and B, not an absolute fortune has been spent on him. So, you know, rightly or wrongly, with the price tag comes expectation from people, and if you don't hit the ground running straight away, then it does become it becomes a massive problem. That's the reality of the situation here, people. It becomes a huge problem. Mate, I honestly don't understand how you think Jackson's not done well. Please give me reasons why someone that is 22 years of age, had just one season, one full season of football in the league. What we said, one full campaign in his career, cost £30 million, 22 years age, was a winger, and he's come in and he's led the line for Chelsea for most of the season, which wasn't the plan. He scored 14 Premier League goals and 17 goals in all competitions, and yet you're saying he's not done well. What were your expectations of Jackson? You expected Jackson to score more than 14 Premier League goals in his first season. Come on, brother. That's just nonsense. Most people costing 100+ million live up to the price tag. No, not many do. You could absolutely say Rice, I'd say, is already... I'd say Rice is already, like, no one's mentioning the price tag for Rice. I think in time people won't mention it for Caicedo, but yeah, generally speaking, with a lot of big money transfers, you know, I would agree. Not a lot live up to the hype. Absolutely agree on that one. No waste of money. We get rival fans chanting our players. Really, Boniface has only done one season in Leverkusen, and again, like, you know, I don't see him on the move next season. Jackson had a year to get used to his teammates. He'll be a lot better next season. Jackson could have, with the amount of chances Jackson's missed, he could have actually got 20 goals this season. No joke. There's a lot of potential there, but I just think it's so I just think it's so disingenuous to say that Jackson's not had a good season, because he absolutely has. I hope we get Europa League. Yep. I think Jackson will be better next season. You know, I think he'll do well. There's a good player in there for sure. Apenda's another guy that I like, but he literally only just joined Leipzig last summer, and Leipzig aren't going to sell Sesko and Apenda this summer, are they? So that's going to be that's going to be a no-go, I think. Do you think Newcastle will drop points tomorrow? No, not really. I don't see it. I mean, Man United are absolutely shocking. I just can't see it. But all we can do is hope. Yeah, 100%. I've been saying that. You know, 100% that should be the case. Absolutely, that should be the case. No denying it whatsoever. Regardless, Jackson. Yeah, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. There's been at times this season where he's not played that well, and he should have been taken out of the team. But because we had no options, he couldn't be. There are two ways then in this case. Either we get a backup striker for Jackson and move with Nico as number one, or we get Osimhen and Nico's improvement will be a problem. Let's see. I think we need a top level striker, for someone for Jackson to learn from, and then it's absolutely a good problem to have. Absolutely a good problem to have. I agree. Jackson could have the golden boot with the chances missed, but it takes an average of 10 months for a player to get used to the league. Yeah, look, this is the problem. This is where players like Haaland cause a problem, because it makes sort of 20 goals a season, like, people think, oh, it's not that great. Is that confirmed? Is it? I mean, I've not kept an eye on the Newcastle team news. If that is confirmed, then yeah, let's see what happens. I think Chelsea will finish 7th and get Europa Conference League. Let's wait and see. We have to give Jackson one more season. Our defence is where we need more retooling. I just think we need to be better coached defensively. Yeah, Nico's improvement won't be a problem. Having 2 top strikers in your team is never ever a bad thing. Never ever a bad thing. Not a problem whatsoever, guys. Next season, do you think Gusto will learn from Reece James and get better? Yeah, of course. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens on centre forwards. But let's move away from that. It's going to be interesting, but the feeling for me is it's going to be one of 3 players. It's Osimhen, it's Gyökeres, or it's Sesko. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on that front. But again, there's been reports in the French media, L'Équipe, saying that, which is a very reliable French paper, that Osimhen is closer to a move. Victor Osimhen is closer to a move to the Premier League than a return to Liga with Paris Saint-Germain. Let's see. I just find it difficult. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that I don't want Osimhen and I'd be disappointed if we signed him. I just don't think it's the right choice personally for me. I mean, taking a gamble on Sesko, I kind of hear it to a degree, but then when it's another 20-year-old, it's a bit of a. I just look at that as a bit of an issue personally. If it's another 20-year-old, I'm just not sure. It would be a gamble when really we need someone to come in and hit the ground and make an instant impact. There's no point signing another someone younger than Jackson or of a similar age. We've already got one striker of that age, and that's that's our kind of our project striker, as it were. We need to go and find someone now that's ready to come in and hit the ground and be a ruthless finisher. That is someone that we need to find, guys. No, purely based on the fact that he's too injury prone at this stage of his career. If he wasn't getting injured, I would have said, yeah, that would be a good option. But given his injury record right now, the wages as well are pretty big. Yeah, I don't see it. One, I don't see it happening, and 2, I don't think it's a move that makes sense. No, not really. I mean, Gyökeres had a very good first season in Sporting, but again, he was playing in the Championship last season. These are things that we need to take into. These are things that we need to take into account, guys. I don't see Rodrigo coming again. Rodrigo's not a centre forward. We don't need another player that plays wide. We don't need that. We absolutely do not need that, people. So, if we're getting Sesko, then we need to figure out an experienced centre back and Lavia is an actual 6. I would love us to get our business done quietly and early to build continuity for pre-season. I mean, look, that's always the ideal, but unfortunately, particularly with the Euros this summer as well, there's bound to be someone that has a really good tournament and then gets a big move. That's always the case as well. But yeah, ideally, you want to try and get business done before the Euros starts. But I know that's not always a possibility. I mean, look, people talk about left back. The only way left back comes is if one of Cucurella or Chilwell leaves. There's no space for another left back unless a left back leaves. So let's wait and see what happens on that front. But it would require one of Chile or Cucurella to leave. Chilwell's not going to leave, I don't think. So we're in a situation where an acceptable offer would have to come in for Cucurella, and even then, I don't think the club would force Cucurella out. No, that's done. It was a loan deal with an obligation, and that obligation became active if Newcastle finished above 15th in the Premier League. Newcastle are going to finish above 15th. Lewis Hall is joining Newcastle on a permanent basis. Yeah, Cucurella is doing very well, and that's why we continue playing this way next season. I think it would be a mistake to get rid of him, and I would absolutely be disappointed uh, if we did do that, guys. Again, we might find it difficult to move Sanchez on. I mean, Fabrizio was saying that Chelsea are keeping an eye on the goalkeeper market. It doesn't mean that anything's going to happen necessarily, but they're keeping an eye on it, which for me suggests they're not entirely convinced with Sanchez and feel that was maybe a mistake because Petrovic is not going anywhere. So let's wait and see. With the midfielders, who do you think will leave? I mean, well, Gallagher's probably the only one that could potentially leave. I still don't know whether he will or not. I don't think he will. And then I think Santos will do another loan somewhere. Cassidy will go and do a loan somewhere. So yeah. Well, again, it could well be a Strasbourg signing potentially. Let's wait and see what happens. By the way, guys, 76 in the building. Big yourselves up, guys. Keep smashing that thumbs up button. There's only 44 likes. There's 76 of you in the building. Make sure you smash the like button, guys, and please subscribe if you're new around here as well. We sailed past 9,000 last night. We're heading towards 10k now, guys. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button if you are new around here as well. Become part of the community, guys, and keep smashing the likes. It's what we do. It's what we do. It's what we do, people. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. I'd look more at Chilwell being replaced if someone came with a decent bid. Again, because he's part of the leadership group, just on a new contract, I don't see the club selling him. But you can just never say never. No, but you can invert from the other side because Reece James or Malo Gusto are more than capable of inverting. It doesn't have to be inverting from the left. It doesn't have to just be inverting from the left. We can invert from the right hand side if necessary. The old black rumours have been they've done the rounds for years, and he's never left Atletico Madrid. I think the wages are at a very high. It'll be a very high transfer fee. I personally don't see it happening. Chances of Maatsen staying? Zero. Absolute zero. Yeah, it should be a good one. Highly important we get rid of the ones that aren't good enough this summer. Lots of players in that bracket. Yeah, I think this summer you look at Broja going. Obviously, Maatsen's going to go. Lukaku, Ziyech is gone. Kepa will go. That's 5 there. Yes, the Blue Journey. Yes. Again, a lot of people have talked about him, a Brazilian goalkeeper. Again, I personally don't know loads and loads about him, but let's wait and see what happens on that front. Got about Ian Maatsen, but hoping to get the Champions League trophy. Yeah, I think we'd all be rooting for Dortmund in that final. But yes, it's going to be a big ask. But it would be quite some story to go from playing in the Championship winning the Championship to winning the Champions League in a year. Would be a madness. Yeah, I think it's going to be tough as well. I think it's going to be tough. All away games are tough in the Premier League, but yeah, Brighton's a difficult place to go. Let's make no mistake about it whatsoever. No mistake about it. It'll be a difficult game. Brighton have got players that can cause problems for sure. No, look, I don't think so. I think a lot of this stuff gets massively taken out of context. Again, I'm not sure what the communication is like between the medical staff and the coaching staff and whatnot. Enzo could have said he didn't want to play. Enzo could have said he didn't want to play. I don't think he's been forced to play by anyone. As a player, if you're injured, you can say I'm not playing. That's kind of how that's how it works. So I don't think he's forced. I don't think he's forced to play Enzo. No. Do I think the surgery could have taken place sooner if we hadn't had injuries to Lavia and Ugochukwu and whatnot? Yes, absolutely. And I think that's part of the reason why he continued for so long with that pain is because of the options that we had. Yeah, Osimhen's gone this summer regardless. Absolutely. to being benched by Levi, Kuku, and Chilwell to playing every game for Dortmund and starting as a look again. I think for me the big thing with the Martin thing was him not being given an opportunity at left back. That's the biggest issue I've got with it. If we sell Lukaku, Ziyech, Broja, Martin, and Kepa, don't we free up 5 quality loan spots for the players like Casadei, Santos, Moreira? Yeah. There'll be loan spots available. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, as am I. As am I. Just wish they would hurry up with Poch going. If the directors are safe, Poch has to stay. Yeah, I don't know why why there's been such a delay on a decision on whether Poch is gonna stay or go. I really don't understand it, people. I really don't understand it. But anyway, let's dive into the game, because it's an exciting one, guys. It's Brighton. It's a bit of a grudge match, you could say. I mean, Brighton billing it as more of a grudge match than us. Obviously, there's been a lot of business between the two clubs over the years. I'm sure Cucurella and Caicedo will be heavily booed. There's no doubt about that. But in good news for Chelsea, the injury list has got shorter and shorter. Chilwell and Chukwuemeka have returned to training, and there's only 4 players that are injured. No idea what's happened to Robert Sanchez, but obviously we know about Fofana, Fernandes, and Lavia. But to have just 4 players injured is an absolute result. And it now gives us some headaches to have going into the final 2 games. I think Pochettino said that Chilwell wouldn't make the squad for this one, but he would be under consideration for the Bournemouth game. I can't remember if that was the same for Chukwuemeka or not, but at best, Chukwuemeka will be on the bench tomorrow. But I think the likelihood is that those 2 will be in the squad for the final game of the season. How long would I give James tomorrow? Maybe 15 or 20 minutes. Let's wait and see. What do I think about the Zerbi rumours to replace Poch? Nonsense, in my opinion. It would be stupid to get rid of Pochettino. I really do believe that. I think it'd just be a ridiculous thing to do. Caicedo bleached his hair in an attempt not to. Maybe he did. He's gone for the blonde look. Caicedo has gone for the blonde look. Let's wait and see how. Let's wait and see how that one pans out for him. Should Nkunku start tomorrow? I would say no. He's only had 2 substitute appearances. I think we still need to build him up a little bit. I would say no at this point in time. But to have only 4 names on the injury list is a huge plus, guys. A massive plus. And now, it's good that, when you actually see, when you have the players available, there's genuine decisions to be made, and there's great game-changing options. There's great game-changing options from the bench now, which again is a huge plus for us, and we experienced that firsthand against Forest. What a difference it makes having good options on the bench, because the players that came on changed the game for us. James, Gusto, Sterling, Nkunku. That's the one. Gusto would start tomorrow. I'd be tempted to start Gusto tomorrow if I'm being real. Push Trev back into the middle, drop Badiashile to the bench. I'd be tempted with that. But yeah, the fact we've got only 4 injuries now is a real plus. It's just a shame there's only 2 games of the season left, and it's not going to make a tremendous amount of difference. But do you know what? It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But let's talk about Mauricio Pochettino, because he has had a lot to say in his press conference. And do you know what? I'm rating Poch's press conferences a lot at the moment. He's saying a lot of the right things. He feels a lot more confident. It's amazing what some decent form can do for that. And he's been speaking on the Chelsea fans. And I think it's a great quote what he said here. Great quote. Really gets it. That is a question for them if they like me. In Tottenham, the first season was tough also. What I don't like, we are not fake people. We are not going to say we love something that we still need an emotional link. It's easy for me to arrive in the first game and kiss the badge, but it is not in my nature. I want to create real feelings. If we arrive one day and feel the love between the fans and us, it is going to be real, not fake, because we are not fake people. Poch has been cooking in the press recently. He's been absolutely cooking. And I think this is spot on. Why give off a persona that you're not to try and please people? The fans shouldn't feel something they don't feel, and Pochettino shouldn't try and create something with the fans that he doesn't feel. This is a great quote, and he's absolutely spot on in what he says here. Absolutely spot on. He needs to like he needs to he needs to create that connection with the fans naturally. Allow that connection to happen through playing good football, winning matches, winning trophies, and that will happen. There's no point trying to force something if it's not there. I absolutely get that, and he has been a bit more animated on the touchline in recent weeks. He has shown more emotion and more passion, but ultimately, I don't want any manager to be someone they're not and to try and portray something that they're not. What he says here is absolutely spot on, and it's a great quote from him, because you could easily come in, kiss the badge, and give it all this and that, but it's not real, it's not genuine, it's not you being you. The best connections you have are ones that are naturally created, and you allow them to form. Nothing ever good comes of creating a fake narrative and giving off fake vibes with the fans. That just isn't it. That just isn't it. In my book, people, that just is not it. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. But I think, do you know what? I know there's still a lot of fans that aren't having him, that want him gone and whatnot. But I think a lot of fans are now swinging around to him. I think a lot more fans are now open to him staying than you would have said a few weeks ago. Of course, there's still going to be the haters. That there always is. But he has demonstrated that things are improving. We're unbeaten now, 3 wins and a draw since the humiliation at Arsenal, and things are on the up. There's a never say die attitude amongst the team. And do you know what? I really do respect what he's been saying in the press recently. I respect what he's been saying in the press conferences and all that sort of thing. It really has been a kind of a breath of fresh air. And the fans are really important, really important. And, recently the support has been really good. I mean, the support in the away end at Forest on Saturday was fantastic. The support in the away end at Villa was brilliant. Even at Stamford Bridge, which is not known for its good support, in the West Ham game, it was it was very good. Also, in other games, it's been good, and I expect tomorrow night, final away game of the season. It will be, the support will be brilliant again as well. It always is very good from the travelling fans. It always is good from the travelling fans, guys. That is what we do. But we need to continue the momentum and get the wins. But I really rate that from him. Honestly, I respect that entirely. I've been a bit guilty of critiquing before, giving him a full chance, but I'm happy to give him another season since he's improving. Yeah, and this is it, guys. This is what people don't remember. The fact that they had 3 wins in the first 10, but since Boxing Day, we've been the 4th best side in the league. We've been a top 4 side since Boxing Day. And only Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal have taken more points than us. We've been the best team outside the top 3 since Christmas. That is improvement. That is heading in the right direction. And even the biggest Poch outers cannot deny that the team have massively improved under him. Players are improving under him. And that's ultimately all that matters. To be honest, I don't really care what he says, needing to be tactically able, but credit to him, his substance changes over the last 2 games have been good. No, fair enough. If you're not fully sold on him, that's fair enough. It's difficult to judge after 1 season. You can have, of course, you can have an idea. 100% you can have an idea, but I think it's very hard to come to a full judgment after just 1 season when it's been under very very difficult circumstances is what I would say. And I think considering the circumstances, he's done very well. Considering the fact that we've barely had a fully fit, we haven't had a fully fit squad all season. You know, I hate the Pochettino, for example. Lewis argument's just not making sense. I don't know what is expected from the manager when most of the players saw each other for the first time this season. No, I hear it. I absolutely hear it. You know, I don't agree with a lot of what people say about Poch. You know, a lot of what they say doesn't make sense, and I just don't really think they know what they want. Don't care what they do, but telling you now, they bring in De Zerbi, I'm done. That would be done. Yeah, it would be ridiculous. It would absolutely be ridiculous. But you can imagine, right? You can see it now, guys. If we were to lose tomorrow night, if Poch lost to De Zerbi, you know, those De Zerbi rumors just get louder and louder and louder, and you get all those De Zerbi hipsters that like would be banging the drum for him to come to the club next season. That's something that, you know, that's something that we can't afford. That we cannot afford to happen, guys. Just for that reason alone, we cannot afford to lose the game. I'm not really sure how you come to that conclusion, because, you know, Nkunku's barely featured this season. He's hardly been fit. I think Pochettino will have a plan for him. I think Nkunku will play as a 10 next season, Palmer off the right. And yeah, I think it'll be really good. Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely see it, but I think there's definitely something new and improved about us. 100%. There's definitely something new and improved about us in the last few weeks. There's no denying that at all, guys. There's definitely something new and improved. No need to change managers just as Pochettino has things sorted. Yeah, absolutely. Just as we're making some progress and things are coming together, let's just pull the carpet out from everyone's feet and let's start again and set us back even further. Poch has also been speaking on the team's form and the fact that he feels that, you know, he's doing a fantastic job. Fair play to him if he thinks that. This is what he said. Of course, we have players improving and getting more mature. That's a massive. They are living their first experience in the Premier League. The goalkeeper came from MLS and is doing fantastic. He's growing and discovering feelings in the toughest competition. I want to be honest, too much the history of Chelsea. That is impossible today, but in time we will match. Our fans are seeing what we are doing, I think, but I think we are doing a fantastic job because the situation, the circumstances are really bad. To keep calm, working, and really believing in what we are doing. And I think you can see now that the players are believing in what we're doing. You can see what the coaching staff are trying to do. And it's what people don't realise. So how many of these players have played in the Premier League before this season in the squad? James, Sanchez, James, Sanchez, Cucurella, Caicedo. You know, not many of these guys have played Premier League football before. People don't understand how difficult it is to adapt to the situation, to get these new players up to speed. A lot of youngsters, very little experience. You know, I think the fact that players are growing this season, the players are matured this season, players have massively improved from the start of the season as well, is a huge tick in Pochettino's box. He's improved those players. He's improved the team. You know, that's not down to anyone else. You know, what he's doing is working. And yes, you know, the football's been pretty good for the last 4 games. But, you know, even though we lost to Arsenal, even though we drew Sheffield United and Burnley and whatnot, we are still, you know, the 4th best team in 2024. And that absolutely deserves praise, guys. That 100% deserves to be praised. I don't know if we need a better medical team necessarily, but what we do need to do is get to the bottom of what's causing all these things and what we are planning to do about it. Because that's the key. What are we planning to do about it? That's the most important thing. You know, what are we going to do about it, people? What are we going to do about it? You know, how are we going to fix this? There's no point bringing different medical staff if you're not going to fix the root problem. You know, there's no point changing the personnel if the root causation is not fixed. Because the root causation is not fixed, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what personnel you've got in there. There's still going to be problems. So, yeah, as I was saying yesterday, this is the least injuries we've had in the past 3 seasons. And no one was questioning Tuchel or Potter or Lampard's training methods. But when it comes to Pochettino, his training methods are questioned. I don't really get it. It reeks of double standards, in my opinion, people. It reeks of double standards, in my view. Set pieces is a massive problem. This Bernardo Cueva coming in from Brentford, he's got his work cut out over the summer. Absolutely, he's got his work cut out over the summer. No 2 ways about it. Work is cut out over the summer. Good Poch, because I ain't handing out fake love. No one's handing out any fake love. People will feel what they feel based on their opinions and what they see. But look, ultimately, at the end of the day, the Chelsea team have massively improved, and I think all things considered, Pochettino's doing a very good job. That's my opinion. You can argue against it if you want, but at the end of the day, guys, we're the 4th best team since Boxing Day. And if it hadn't been for our 3 wins in our first 10 games, then we would probably be playing Champions League football next season. That's the reality, guys. Everyone's starting centre-back partnership next season when people are fit. It's tough. It really is tough. I would probably agree on that one. I'd say Fofana definitely, and then it's either Colwell or Badia Shill for me. A lot of people saying that he made a mistake by putting Colwell at left back, for example, but that is okay. As a new manager, he should test what is working and what is not. I think fair enough as well. I can get on board with that for sure. I can absolutely get on board with that one. By the way, guys, 99 of you in the building. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Guys, keep smashing the likes. We're on 67. Let's get this up towards 100. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. And please keep subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. If you're locked in now and you're not subscribed, make sure you do. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers now. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and keep smashing the like button. Let's ramp these likes up. Get it past 70. Get it past 80 people. Let's do our thing here. Not just medical, it's training and gym work, etc. to look into as well. Yeah, it's a whole thing to look into. Chelsea's acquisition of the Brentford set piece kicks and help so much. Yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Do you think Colwell will get some game time? He didn't come off the bench against City, against Nottingham Forest. Sorry, would he come off the bench in these 2 games? I don't know. I don't know. I would agree on that front as well. I think that is absolutely the case, and I think that's also very fair. I think that's also very fair. But let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see what happens here. But the form's improving, players are improving, Pochettino's improving, the team's improving. These are all big ticks in the box, and yet people just want to tear all that up and start again because he was at Tottenham. I don't believe in him. We had a few shit results at the start of the season. Come on, people. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Is all I'm gonna say. What are we doing? We can't speak about sacking Poch. Give him till midway next season. If it's not obvious, we'll get at least a Champions League place by then he has to go. I've seen a lot of positives. Yeah, look, I'm seeing a lot of positives as well. The summer is crucial, as I've banged on about a lot. The summer is absolutely crucial. If they keep Pochettino, which they should, then give him what he needs and what he asks for, because otherwise it is completely pointless, and no manager is going to work for this, want to work under these conditions if they're not listened to and their input is not taken on board. This is the thing. For all of the young players we have bought, not all of them will make it, but at least half will, which will make us a great team in the future. Yeah, this is it. No, this is what people don't have patience. They don't understand that you can't just instantly build a winning machine. Have there been disappointing results this season? Yes. Should we have done better? Yes. Has Pochettino done things wrong? Yes to all these answers. But everyone is new on the job. Mistakes are going to be made. Everyone's new on the job. Those sort of things are going to happen. And I stick by it. Poch is the best option for this young squad right now. That's the reality. Mate, I've not been raving over Marston. Marston's doing very well at Dortmund. My only disappointment is that he wasn't given an opportunity. But managers have their decisions, and that's the way it goes. Poch probs best for a younger squad. He has proven in that. He said he don't want to talk about young squad. Yeah, he said next season he's already said that he doesn't want to talk about injuries or the squad being young, and I rate him for that. It's boring. It's boring. What a waste of work it would be if he was replaced. I agree. Yeah, of course, like it is for a lot of people. Yes, big ups on a row. I hope you're doing well, brother. But yeah, form has definitely improved. Definitely improved. But yeah, guys, let's dive into the team then. Let's dive into the team. Tough game tomorrow. Brighton away. They beat Villa in their last home game and they got a point against Newcastle away, which is better than what we did. We lost to Villa at home and we got battered away at Newcastle. So yeah, let's wait and see. I mean, De Zerbi also very briefly mentioned we tried to bring Cole Palmer to Brighton last summer. We thought he could be a top player. The qualities of Palmer are clear. This season, he's playing very well, scoring a lot of goals. I mean, it's quite weird in an alternative, in a parallel universe that, Cole Palmer could have been playing for Brighton tomorrow against us. And having seen what he's done for us this season, the thought of him lining up at Brighton next season would have been Brighton this season and playing against us tomorrow would have been very, very strange, to say the least. It would have been very, very strange. But yeah, Cole Palmer at Brighton would have been a mad one. Would have been an absolute mad one. So yeah, it would have been crazy. But yeah, Brighton were in for Palmer. Luckily for us, it didn't happen because I don't know where we'd be without Cole. Things would have panned out very, very differently. But yeah, let's jump into it, people. Let's jump into it. The team for tomorrow. We've got options, guys. We've actually legit got a lot of options to choose from, which is quite something, people. Quite something. Options, options, options. This is what we like, guys. This is what we like to have. So I think in goal, Petrovic, obviously. Sanchez not available. That picks itself. Now, this is where you've got the first decision to make. Do you bring Malo Gusto back in, who's now made 2 appearances from the bench following his return from injury, or do you stick with Chalobah and at right back and put and then leave the same defensive pairing? For me personally, I would be putting Gusto in from the off. That is what I would be doing. Gusto from the off, and then I'd have. I'm going Gusto from the off with Reece James to come on with maybe 15 or 20 minutes to go. I'm going in the middle. I'm going Silva and Chalobah. I think that partnership's been good. I like that partnership. I really do. And then Cucurella will continue at left back, and it'll be interesting to see if Poch sticks with Cucurella inverting in that first. I've already sticks with an inverted fullback in midfield against Brighton. I'll be interested to see. This is a good point though as well. When Cucurella inverts, it becomes a back 3 in possession. Is Gusto at right centre back, the best option for that? I do fully hear it, and obviously a Chalobah out there would obviously make sense, but I would go with Gusto and then play Silva and Chalobah in the middle with Cucurella at left back. Of course, the midfield then entirely picks itself. I think bringing on Gusto and James towards the end of the Forest game really finished Forest off. Yeah, I think it made a massive difference. Again, look, if Poch feels that Gusto's not ready, then he will continue with Chalobah at left back. I'm certain of it. Right back, sorry. I'm pretty certain of that. But we're in a situation, guys, where we're blessed with options, and I think Gusto at right back will do a job. Hudson-Odoi was cooking Chalobah a little bit in that Forest game. There's no denying it. He absolutely was. I'd stick with that back 4. That'd be the back 4 that I would go with. But I can understand if he would stick with the same one. But that personally for me, that's what I'd go with. What else have we got going on? Midfield picks itself. We know what that's going to be. The Moises Caicedo, the blonde Caicedo, returning to Brighton for the first time. Caicedo and Gallagher in that pivot. Gallagher didn't have a great game against Forest. If we're being honest, he was subbed off. He doesn't usually get taken off. He was okay. He did well. I'm sorry, he didn't do as well as he has been recently. A bit of a rare poor game for Gallagher this season, but of course he'll be back in the starting lineup. He'll be captaining the side again, and his energy and whatnot is always going to be important. For next season, we need one new wide-headed centre-back to help our youngsters in that position. Another striker, and I think we are set. I think I probably agree with that for sure. It's nice that we finally have options. I mean, tell me about it. Options. What a dream. I can't think of a mistake Chalobah has made since his return. Yeah, absolutely. Chelsea have not lost a game since Chalobah's come back into the team. He started, in terms of league game, he started 11 Premier League games since he's returned to the side, and we've not lost. Yes, big up. I hope Man City get a win against Spurs so that City will win the league ahead of Arsenal. I think we all hope that. Madrid, look, and then we move on to the front line. Madueke had a poor game against Forest. He was really ineffective. But at the end of the day, I look at it and I think, if you look at it, he probably deserves to start. It was one bad game in about 5 or 6. And look, Sterling's not been great. Came off the bench and made an impact and scored. But I think Sterling's got to prove himself on the bench a bit more before he thinks about returning to the starting lineup, in my view. And I'd say the same with Nkunku. So I would stick with Madueke on the right. Although I could see potentially Poch bringing Sterling in. But I think Sterling needs to do a bit more to prove himself on the bench. Of course, I'll continue with Palmer in the middle. And then Mudrik's just scored a goal. His confidence is up. He's performing well. He's had a run of games in the team, which is making a difference. I would stick with him on the left-hand side as well. And then, obviously, Nicholas Jackson. Jackson leads the line. I'm literally making one change to that team at right back. That's it. That's all I'm changing. I don't see the need to. I don't see the need to change anything else. I really don't. It doesn't make sense, people. It doesn't make sense to change anything else. Yeah, I mean, if any of the wide players are going to drop out, it will be Madueke dropping out for Sterling. Yeah, I'm aware Silva's leaving, but he's not leaving to the end of the season. So yeah, that's the team I'd go with. Pretty much the same side, except one change. Gusto coming in for Chalobah at right back, with Chalobah switching to centre back, and Badia Shield dropping out. But then we're going to have options on the bench. We're going to have Nkunku. We're going to have Reece James on the bench. We're going to have Raheem Sterling on the bench. 3 very good options there: James, Nkunku, Sterling. What other options are we going to have on the bench? There's going to be a few people, which is a really good. No, brother. No, this is not a team for next season. This is the team that I'd pick for tomorrow night. Yeah, look, options from the bench are going to be huge. And yeah, absolutely, Enzo gets back in the team. Of course he does. When a fully fit Enzo Fernandez, which we'll have next season, is 100% gets into this team. That's not even a question. Not even a debate. Enzo Fernandez 100% gets into this team. He's our best midfield player. Most talented midfield player. Look, he's been playing through a hernia problem for 6-7 months this season, which has held him back. But trust me, this is a top footballer, and hopefully we'll see it. We'll see it next season. No, I wouldn't start Nkunku just because I still think he's not played a lot of football this season. and I think we still need to bed him in from the bench for sure. I mean, I think a chance of starting the final game of the season against Bournemouth for sure. Would you take Koopmeiners as a Gallagher replacement? I mean, Koopmeiners is a good player for sure. Yeah, I don't like the Enzo disrespect either. I really don't. I really don't get on board with the Enzo disrespect at all. I mean, it's like I just don't understand it. But there are sections of the Chelsea fan base that do fully believe that Enzo's not that good and he shouldn't be in the team. It's just a madness, people. It is just an utter madness in my opinion. No, well, City just need to win full stop. City just need to win full stop, people. That is the reality of the situation that we find ourselves in, guys. City just need to win full stop. Plain and simple. They need to win full stop. Want to bench that when the opposition see it, they think, oh shit, well that's what we're gonna have. That's what we're gonna start having, guys. But that is the team that I'd go with. I could see Sterling starting instead of Madueke, but yeah, let's wait and see. A few weeks ago, I was Pochettino, but now Chelsea delivering and playing well. We need to be patient and trust to pray. A fully fit Chelsea squad. Yeah, this is what people need to. Pochettino's always said this: judge me when I've got my full squad available, and the players are starting to come back, and he's starting to deliver. That's the reality, guys. 110 in the building. Big up to everyone. Only 80 likes though. Keep smashing that like button. Let's ramp it up, guys. Let's ramp it up. 80 likes. This needs to get up to 100 likes. Going to round this out in 5 minutes, so I've got to shoot off. But guys, up to 100 likes. There's over 100 of you in the building. Do your thing, people, and keep subscribing as well, guys. On the road to 10k, people. On the road to 10k. But not brilliantly. But I think that's more an indictment of how the team's been set up. In my opinion, I think with the way that we're playing now, Enzo and Caicedo would look a lot better. Would look a lot better in my opinion. Yes. I'll have the game on tonight. I think Enzo needs a solid 60, but I think that's where Romeo Lavia is going to be really key next season. Is going to be him. João Pedro, Solly March, and Evan Ferguson are all out for Brighton. Fair enough. I mean, that obviously does make things a bit easier. There's no Matoma either. I like Caicedo and Gallagher work. So does Enzo and Lavia. I mean, let's wait and see. It's all very good options to have, guys. For Enzo to prosper, he needs Lavia in the team. Yeah, I think he could definitely benefit with a defensive-minded midfield player behind him. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, guys. That's the team that I'd go with. People, score predictions for Brighton away tomorrow. What are you not saying? Get them in the chat quickly. What are you guys saying tomorrow night? Brighton, score predictions. Let me know. Let me know. What are you saying? I think we will win 2-1. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to go 2-1. A 2-1 Chelsea win for me. I think our good form is going to continue. I'm going 2-1. What we got? 6-1 Chelsea. Fair. We've got a 0-0. Wow, there's loads coming in, guys. 2-1, 3-0, 3-2, 0-0. I don't see it being 0-0. We don't keep clean sheets and we score loads of goals. 3-1 Chelsea. 6-1 Chelsea. I mean, that would be ridiculous if it was. 3-1. We owe these guys because they smashed us 4-1 at their place last season. Caicedo's immense 2-1 to the Chelsea. Fair. Jackson to score both. Yeah, I'll be happy with the win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, people. 2-1 win in my book. That's my view on proceedings. I'm going with a 2-1 win, guys. And that would guarantee us 7th place in the league, I believe. And hopefully that will at least be Conference League, providing Man United don't win the FA Cup. So we could secure a top 7 finish with a win tomorrow. But guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Thank you so much for your support as always. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Thanks for getting involved. The streams aren't the same without you guys. So big up. Appreciate it a lot. We've got 2 big games tomorrow. Brighton, Chelsea, and then Newcastle, Man United as well. Going to have half an eye on that one also. But yeah, guys, I'll be at the game tomorrow, so stay tuned for the match vlog dropping after the game tomorrow. So Brighton match vlog will be dropping after the game tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned for the channel. Make sure you stay tuned on the channel for that one. And yeah, guys, love for the support as always. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's hope City do the business for us tonight. And yeah, match vlog tomorrow. Up the Chelsea. Keep the blue flag flying high. All that good stuff. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Up the Chelsea and peace out.